paper and plastic are pretty commonly recycled. I don't know if you guys know, and maybe it's not as new to you as it is for somebody like me who's a little bit older. You know, we were only able to recycle certain plastics before. They would tell us if it's plastic and it has a neck, like a bottle, you can recycle that. Or I don't have an example of a ketchup bottle, but I always thought of plastic ketchup bottles. Those are recyclable. And now they've added a bunch of new plastics. And a lot of these I've included here on the table, just so you guys can kind of come up here and experiment yourself. Plastic ketchup bottles, those are recyclable. And now they've added a bunch of new plastics. And a lot of these I've included here on the table, just so you guys can kind of come up here and experiment yourself. Things like this were not recyclable before, so I had to throw those in the garbage, and then those just end up in a landfill somewhere, and we cover it with dirt, and we just forget about it until maybe our grandkids someday will want to mine that area and find some resources. But it's just trash right now, so it goes into the landfill. But now we can recycle any of these types of plastics like this. So if you go to a store and you get some takeout food and it comes in a plastic container like this, you can rinse that out and throw it right in your recycling bin. And then this was an unusual one I hadn't heard of before the program came out and I started working with the county, but the plastic that comes on your toys or electronics, take the paper off and you can recycle that as paper, but you can also recycle the plastic part. This harder, clear plastic is also recyclable now. And then these types of containers that are also kind of takeout or deli containers, sour cream might go in there or whatever, hummus or something. Here we got pico de gallo on this one. These are now recyclable as well. Same with these. So that, how many of you, was that new information for you? Or did you guys know this already because some of you got your bins? Okay. The one thing I just wanted to note in all of the plastics that I have here is this black type of plastic. Where have you guys seen this type of plastic before?
Oh, and the things that like you put in the microwave?
Frozen food?
Exactly. It's like the frozen food, any kind of microwavable products. This type of plastic, I don't know exactly what it's called, but it has a different chemical in it, so these are not recyclable. So we've labeled these as trash. So that's really one of the only plastics that you can't recycle in your backyard, at home, and a lot of times at your school or a place of business like this. For some reason, they're just a little bit different types of plastics. And then a couple of the other new products. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't forget about this one, because how many of us get to-go cups to drink beverages when we're on the road? These used to have to all be thrown right in the trash can, but these are all now recyclable. So make sure you're throwing those in the recycling bin from now on. Who knew that products like this were recyclable? You guys are so smart. See, the younger generation, you guys have it all figured out. But we weren't able to recycle any of this before, so it was kind of new. I presented this to a bunch of little kids, littler than you even, and I had all this lined up on the table, and I said, okay kids, if you can pick out 3 things on the table that are recyclable, you can get a sticker or a magnet. And the kids came up right away and they grabbed the juice boxes and the milk cartons. And I could see the parents going, oh, no, that's not recyclable. But the kids knew because at school they were recycling their juice boxes and their milk cartons. So we definitely want to put these in the recycling bin, as well as any kind of soup can come in these types of containers, any of these bigger containers that kind of look like juice boxes too. And then the rest of this stuff, I think you guys have seen a lot of this already. Any paper product, I heard mentioned cardboard is recyclable. All glass is recyclable because you can pretty much use that to make any other kind of glass. Cans are easy. Let's talk about a couple of the things that are not recyclable. So, styrofoam. You guys heard use styrofoam, get some takeout containers from the restaurant or anywhere? Okay. This is trash. Styrofoam is probably one of our biggest problems for trash generation. It's really cheap and inexpensive to buy. If you go to an event, you'll probably not get a plastic cup, but you'll get a styrofoam cup if you have any hot liquids. And it's a little bit less expensive, but there's so much waste generated because you have to throw it in the trash. Any kind of styrofoam like that, packaging peanuts are also trash, so you have to throw that into the trash can. And then any of this kind of foamy styrofoam, also trash. You can actually recycle these if you bring them somewhere. Did you guys know that?
Like where?
So you would have to drive to Coon Rapids.
Oh my God.
One, you'd have to have a car.
Right.
Actually, it could be like a couple of my friends who, even before they knew that they could recycle this stuff, they just couldn't get themselves to throw it in the trash can, so they would collect it in their basement. So you have to have a lot of room to collect it. Then you need a vehicle to transport it, and then you have